Everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel, guys. Today is Tuesday, October 19th, right? October 19th, Tuesday, 2021. Thank you again for coming back to my channel and subscribing. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. It's very important for you guys to listen to this video that I'm making right now. Please bear with me. I have to use code words, but I gotta get this message out there, guys, because this is not trending right now. But I want you guys to know what is happening so that we don't get surprised when this comes to our nation. Okay, because this is the whole plan, the whole idea behind these mandates and firing of people and controlling society and separating society. So I just got notification that the mayor of a Russian city has declared that starting October 25th, so basically next week, if you are 60 years old or older and you haven't had the first or second dosage, you are to remain at your home, unable to go outside for 4 months. Okay, so let that sink in for a moment, guys. Look what we're entering right now. It doesn't, people can see it, people will have their own opinions about it, but how is it possible? Let's go back to the basic here. How is it possible that criminals and people who have records of doing bad to society, like a rapist, most wanted people, they're not using that effort to go ahead and get the bad guys, I guess you can say. They're actually going to demand a mandate people who are 60 years or older to remain in their home unless they get, you know, if they haven't got the first or second dosage. Starting October 25th, a government in a nation in this world is going to make it official for anyone who has not gotten the first or second dosage to make it illegal for them to leave their home for 4 months. I mean, are you serious right now, guys? And I also learned, one of my Spanish videos, somebody commented that in the Dominican Republic, that's where I'm from, they are actually demanding you to show proof if you go to the bank, supermarket, or special businesses. And I must say, I knew that was coming because I do watch a lot of news from the Dominican Republic. Obviously, that's where I'm from, where I still have family living in, and they are the people, their own citizens are demanding this type of action so that they can get people to get the first and second dosage, even though we've seen how much trouble this has caused to people that already went and got it. But the fact is that good employees with good reputation, with long years of being of service to a company, are being fired without any unemployment benefits, without the right of getting any type of income, paid or not. They're being completely terminated by companies because they haven't gotten the first and second dosage. And now I'm gonna read to you this article. In Russia is going to demand that people 60 years old or older who have not gotten the first or second dosage, they are to remain in their home starting next week for 4 months. So let me read to you this article, guys. I mean, let's get right with Christ, guys. This is just crazy. Okay, so Moscow mayor asks people who have not gotten their first or second dosage to stay home over the next 4 months as part of the new restrictions. Okay, Moscow mayor announced 4 months of stay-at-home restriction for people who are 60 starting next week. Okay, the move reflected a growing sense of urgency from the authority as they confront fast-rising cases and widespread public reluctance to get the first and second dosage. And we know, guys, over the weekend I came here and show you guys what was happening in Italy, and how over there every single company in Italy is going to demand for you to have your first and second dosage for you to even be employed with one of them. So wow. And people are still like, oh, it's nothing to do with the mark of the beast because we haven't seen the Antichrist yet. Okay, I don't mean to be sarcastic, but I tell you guys, even from somebody who perhaps has never opened the Bible, this is weird, guys. Think about it. Like, this is strange. How is it possible that you no longer have the choice whether or not you want to take something for you? We all know that not every medication is going to work fine for everyone, right? There are things, you just, let's say you have a headache, you can take to a leaf and you'll be all set. There are people who don't take any medications and they get better. There are people who require to take maybe 4 leaf within the whole day to feel some type of release. That's just how the human body is made. Not everything is going to work out for everyone. But this is being forced upon people. And there are still people out there who were saying yesterday on Twitter how the people who don't have the first and second dosage are responsible for the death of Colin Powell. Are you kidding me? They're making it, trying to rationalize with people, saying, forget about the illness that he has, forget about him having the first and second dosage. He died because he's around people who don't have the first and second dosage. What a weird, like, uneducated, ignorant comment to say. And people are like, that's right. They're believing it. And it reminds me of that verse, in the Bible where it says about in the last day, people will call evil good and good evil. Think about, they're just sworn in somebody. I was just reading the first transgender was just sworn in into an office position. I forgot what it was, but I know it was a top um, office here in the administration. He became the first first transgender four-star, had just sworn into power. At this day and age, when we are dealing with Satan shoes, this year, man, Satan shoes, right? What else? What is her name? Cardi B having a pole dancing at the Grammys and being applauded by so many organizations. And we also had Tony Hawk make a video about that, using his own blood to sell your kids his skateboard, and people are saying that's just so creative. And the Satan shoes and the pregnant, that guy who got pregnant, Little Nas X, being pregnant and receiving his first baby shower gift by the previous president of the U.S. And I hope this video doesn't get canceled. I mean, this year it's just the devil is like, he's just making everything he wants, man. I tell you. And the crazy thing is, like, there are still Christ believing people out there who just basically agree and don't want to offend anybody, and everything is sunshine and flowers and we love you so much. Let me tell you something, the best love you can give anybody is by telling them the truth, especially when we know for sure that we are definitely living in the last days. You cannot say to somebody who is posting sexy naked photos of themselves on Instagram, you are amazing, when you know the truth about how God wants the woman to dress, right? And of course, I'm going to default to that topic because, as you guys know, I am a fashion designer. I create fashion. I just did New Year Fashion Week, and my main goal is to create modest clothing. And when I'm dealing with models that have perhaps never heard about Christ, and I'm telling them, and hours before my presentation, hey, just to let you know, I don't want you to do any sexy poses during my collection, and you have to remember I represent Christ, and this is about modesty and things like that. And they are so happy to hear that. But another Christ believing person who goes to church every Sunday is gonna be, you're great, you're amazing. Let me tell you, there's a different way to you can encourage somebody, okay? Because like I was saying yesterday in my video, you can't just like everything you see on Instagram and think, oh, it's, I'm just liking the photo. It's nothing about, like, people look at that as an affirmation that everything they're doing is okay. And you have to be so careful. Read what you're liking. Look at the captions. Like I told you guys, I have the problem. I don't go on Instagram a lot, but I just basically go post and get out of the app. But sometimes I find myself looking at it and I'm like, wait a second, what am I liking here? I know who she is. I know she modeled for me before, but I will never agree with this photo. Why am I liking it? There's a way to encourage somebody without approving of their behavior. And that's so important because these days, guys, influence is everything. If they say, hey, you know what? My half naked photo, hey, Julissa liked it. And yes, perhaps some people might not take my opinion like, too hard, or they don't care about it. But at the end of the day, I represent Christ. I don't want them to think, hey, but you like all my half naked photos. What are you talking about? You represent modesty. You have to be so careful. It does matter. It matters a lot. But anyways, I wanted to come here. I keep going to that topic. I don't know why, but I wanted to come here to tell you guys what's going to happen starting next week in Moscow. Excuse me. What's going to happen starting this week in Moscow. So the city has, let me just tell you some demographics. Moscow has 12.7 million people. Sorry, I just read something strange. Moscow, a city of 12.7 million order of 12.7 million order people over 60 and over to stay home for 4 months starting October 25th. So I don't even know. That's just reality. Like when I read that, you don't think I'm just not being. I try to make this video without being sarcastic because we have seen we've seen that footage when they all met, the 7Gs or something, whatever that's called. They all met, like the authorities, I gotta be careful how I say it, but the authorities from different places, they all met and they were planning all of this. So that's what I'm saying. Just because it's happening in Moscow and you're like, oh, that's so far away from me, I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm not saying for you to worry about it, I'm saying you to open your eyes. This is happening. What they're gonna tell you, I remember last year, you guys know I'm here in Danbury, Connecticut, but you guys know when I remember last year, the mayor of the city here, he will do a live on Facebook every other day or something like that. And I remember one of the questions people asked, like this is like March 2020 or something like that, like early April, maybe people are saying, hey, are the people in Danbury allowed to go out on the streets? And he's like, of course, there's no restriction on that. And I was thinking to myself, when I heard that question, I'm like, that's crazy. They're not going to make us not go outside. That's crazy. And then guess what happened? A couple months after, the mayor of California, or the governor over there, was saying that you're not allowed to go walking. They were telling you not to go out walking outside. And now we see, a few months after that, now we see the mayor of a city in Russia saying that you have to stay home. Though it's not for a week that you're going to stay home. You're going to stay home for 4 months. Starting next week. What? And this is for our health? This is because they care so much? They don't care if you have to work. They don't care if you're a good employee. You're going to get terminated from the company. Effective immediately if you don't get the thing in your arm. But we are so concerned for you. Veterans, people are being terminated. Effective immediately, policemen, all of them. They don't care. And we're supposed to think they really care for us? Really? Wow. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you again. Don't forget to subscribe. God bless. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I hope to see you in the next video.